If you were to have a conversation with someone about their ideal daily driver, and they told you that they'd found a car which looks like a luxury car, has executive car sensibilities and long distance ability, has the fuel economy of a tiny city runabout, the road tax of a hatchback as well, but at the same time the pulling power of something like a Maserati Quattroporte, well, you would think they were just making up a car. There's no way a vehicle like that actually exists. And yet it does. And this is exactly that car. The Jaguar XF, as we've said so many times, quite literally hundreds upon hundreds of times right here on YouTube, is a superb platform. And the 2.2 litre, such as this one is one of the most impressive of all, not least of which, of course, because of its fuel economy. These are shockingly good cars, up to 54 miles per gallon on average, as high as 63 on a motorway run. That is far better than a car like this has any right to be. And of course, because of how efficient it is, especially these days when many vehicles have insane amounts of road tax, this one at £195 a year is not far off a quarter of the price of some of its rivals and peers. But as if that weren't already good enough, it's not as if you're losing those cost advantages by paying more for the car to begin with, because these are astonishingly good bargains. Take this precise car. It is of course an XF from 2013, so the facelift generation with those signature xenon headlights and LED day runners, as well as LED lights on the rear, and naturally being a portfolio XF, so the top level of trim, well, not only is it a very desirable car, but it is incredible in terms of how much car you're getting for the money. What was the best part of a £45,000 car with options is now, in the case of this exact vehicle, under £7,500. That could just wash over you if you're just listening to the numbers, but if you look around the market and compare that to so many other vehicles, many of which offer nothing close to how good these are in an all-round sense, it really does start to sink in just how shockingly good the XF really has become, even more so you could say over time than when it was brand new. If of course you did want to spread out the cost further, there is the option of low deposit financing as well, and that is for a vehicle which has covered 12,000 less miles than the average for one of these on the market, just kissing 74,000. What's more impressive though, and certainly more reassuring when it comes to any kind of luxury car or executive car, is you want to know that it's been loved. There are very few ways that you could know that more so than being a single owner car, because clearly they've adored this vehicle. To own it that long, to put every single one of those miles on the vehicle, being originally sold by Guy Salmon Jaguar in Coventry, and still having that single keeper right up until now, that is a remarkable provenance for the car. Incidentally, when it comes to its visual spec, you can tell of course it's finished in lunar grey with charcoal and ivory interior, suede headliner as well. These look every bit as good today as they did when brand new in the case of this car in 2013, and in fact a good argument could be made that these look even better now, given how boring many cars have become on the market. Of course its history is backed up with main agent and specialist servicing. In fact, it was most recently serviced barely 2,000 miles ago in May. It's equipped with parking sensors and reverse camera, touchscreen display with auxiliary and Bluetooth inputs. Of course, being a portfolio, one of the key upgrades is that 11-speaker Meridian sound system, built-in navigation as well, cruise control, Jaguar Drive Select with sport modes, winter modes, of course comes in handy as we enter the colder months of the year. As we said earlier on, it has the updated front end with xenon headlights and LED day runners, dual zone climate control, and if, as so many do, you plan to use this as a daily commuter and a family car, perhaps for the school run and long distances all rolled into one, it of course does have ISOFIX anchor points for child seats as well. And one of the great things about being a 2.2 litre diesel rather than a petrol is of course, even with fantastic fuel economy, you still have great pulling power as well. 330 foot-pounds, which is up around 450 newtons. In fact, that's the equivalent amount of pulling power of some very, very expensive and certainly very exotic vehicles in comparison, such as the aforementioned 4.2 litre Ferrari-engined Maserati Quattroporte, which is not the kind of comparison you would ever think a car that can do 63 miles per gallon could be in. And on the budget of under £7,500, it's no wonder why these really do not stick around for very long in our collection. So of course, if you've already been considering an XF, perhaps you're between a few different vehicles and you finally decided on one of these and you'd like to reach out about this exact model, of course you could send us an email to the address shown here on screen, or give us a call on 01749 871 155 or via our mobile number of 07482 267 439.